All right, how's it going? We are live with a combination of South Park's Mormons episode and the and my continued playthrough of Dawn of War, also known as Birth of Bloodshed. So I wonder if we can get away with copyrighted stuff.
No.
Probably not, because even South Park can't put that stuff up where you normally find it because, Mormons. So you're probably going to have to do the double stream thing for that part.
And the N-word.
Alrighty, let me just set up another let me just set stuff up. Alright, 1 second.
I've been going down a large ass rabbit hole, and
Oh God, on what now?
just more Star Wars prequel defense bullshit.
There we go. So let me see. Alright, 1 second. Let me. Alright. Alright, let me just share the screen for South Park. Let's see. Let me grab the episode. Which one is it again?
Season 7, episode 12.
South Park. Season 7.
You will get my bill later.
Is that the title of the episode?
No.
Damn it.
The title of the episode is all about Mormons.
You will get my bill later could definitely be an episode title, okay?
I kind of.
Jesus Christ, you're lagging so much.
Who?
Me. I don't know why.
Oh.
Mine really isn't too bad.
Is it just me? It's going at like a frame every 3 seconds.
Because it's the intro.
Where you guys watch?
South Park.
Oh, okay, I see. It's the private channel. I was waiting for you to put it on Discord. Never mind. What? God damn it. Hey.
He's such a good little Mormon boy.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's actually a very accurate portrayal of Mormon families. That's correct. Yeah.
This is so your family. I can picture it.
Oh God.
Ah.
And I'm assuming this is actually all true.
That part.
I mean, the
Yeah.
basics of what they do here.
Church of Unitology, obviously.
That's not quite accurate.
Sure, then, sure.
Okay.
That part
Not
is not
quite.
accurate.
Not quite.
That part is accurate.
How's it coming on your raid stuff?
Good.
So the thing that I would be pushing for now, what
This
level?
is Sending Champions.
Getting upgrading their range. Like you really want to. Oh, nice. Oh yeah. You're not going to be able to make the fusion, but what I would be doing is getting.
You might want to mute.
You want to either take Kale up to.
Hey.
I have to admit, when I was a kid growing up, our family did board games and cards, and I really freaking miss that.
Yeah.
Dum 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 dum. Yeah.
Ah,
Dum 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 dum. Kinky.
hmm.
Utah.
Mm-hmm. Who the heck?
Oh, he's gonna miss the entire episode, isn't he?
They're insidious.
What's insidious?
you-
Mormons are insidious.
Yeah, we love convincing people to come over by using the wiles of baked goods.
Exactly.
Join the dark side. We have cookies.
God damn it! That is like my biggest weakness is food, especially sweets.
We have Rice Krispie treats.
Especially Starbucks coffee.
Oh,
that
they
we
don't
wouldn't be
do
able to give it.
coffee.
Huh?
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to give you that.
Well, you could serve it. You just can't have it yourself.
Well, I liked Starbucks ever since we had that Starbucks back in Winterfell, so you know
Mm-hmm.
the tradition.
Yeah.
I'm a crackhead. Oops, I almost left.
See, Mormons are aliens.
God damn it.
They sound like those families which are all clones
Hmm.
in shows.
Your
Okay.
generic Nintendo fanboy, family that you see like on the cover like of a fucking promotional box for like a video game or something.
I think Leave It to Beaver was fashioned after a Mormon family.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, but nobody ever saw the plates, did they?
12 people did, actually.
How come only 12? Why aren't they in a museum somewhere?
Because they got taken up to heaven by an angel.
Uh-huh. That's a little
Hey.
convenient, isn't it?
There's a
A
plot hole
story
here.
that all 12 of those men took their graves, even though many of them dissented from the church, and at least one of them never came back after he'd started. So, mm,
uh,
not really. It was more like a sheet, but I guess so.
I think this is leaning more towards comedy than anything.
Oh, I know.
Dum da dum 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 dum.
Oh, God, now that's going to be stuck in my head.
Dumb.
Dum.
That was stuck in my head when I first heard you were gonna watch this episode. Dum 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 dum.
I choose to believe the subtitles are mistyped.
I've been waiting for the, oh, but shouldn't it be dun 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 dun?
Dear God. Dear God, why did you make the last name Dunn exist, you cruel monster? Realistic.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Realsies.
After he was done.
Oh my God, help me.
No.
That's just your opinion.
So Dunn is the one who started the Mormon religion.
That is
Yes.
incorrect. That they were actually stolen. They were actually stolen.
How convenient.
No, like Martin did ask for the pages, and Joseph Smith did let him take it. After several attempts. So he just never went.
Did you just kick them out of their own house? Mormons, the emotionally stunted happy family.
No, remember it's called emotional constipation.
Yes,
I would rather
sorry,
take that
emotional-
family than most.
the
Oh no,
emotion-
I totally agree. That's why I'm laughing so much, because even just the bit that I know about Kai's family and interactions, and well, skipping over a few, but yeah, I'm just laughing because that's just, oh my God. Oh my God.
A Mormon likely wrote this.
Actually, that's actually the thing. Both of the South
Can you
Park
rewind that? I
guys.
didn't see that last bit.
Oh, 1 second. Well, it's basically you were too high and mighty to be my friend, and couldn't look past my religion, suck my balls. All right, it is now time to play Dawn of War.
The
Friggin'
dawn of
finally!
Okay, so
Good night,
Gee.
everybody! Son of a.
Yes, you're welcome, Drake the Duelist. I shall now take my leave. That was fun. Goodbye.
Oh, I was
Alright.
about to. Go ahead, fine.
no, go for it.
No, I like. Well, that was
Bye.
funny. Eat.
That was indeed very amusing. Adjust the volume mixer.
And you do see the movie I want to watch sometime, amazingly enough.
Orgasmo, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, sure. That's fine. Destroy the Xenos. I wonder if Xenu will show up.
Oh, God.
I thought Xenu was another one. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
definitely another one.
Xenu would be Scientology.
Thank you.
I know, I'm making a joke.
3.
Don't worry, Scientologists don't really do much when they
Fuck you. Cunt. That's it. Game over, man. Mm.
Everything is ready, boss.
What the fuck?
Louise is in for a good stomping.
So,
This is
Drake.
gonna be the best
Yeah.
regale us with the lore around this time period.
Hard to say. Due to some shenanigans in Dawn of War 2, the entirety of Dawn of War is now no longer canon.
You wanted a new planet to wage war on. We have given it to you. You wanted to face the Imperium's greatest warriors, the Space Marines. They are here. We've even provided you with weapons and Imperial tanks to use on the battlefield. And all we ask in return is that you keep the Imperials distracted from our operations here. You've kept
Plus, I am not speaking over Scott McFreakin Neal.
My apologies.
Is that the sorcerer?
Yeah. And Bale, incidentally.
Oh, really?
Take our leave now.
Cringe.
Respectfully request that you
And in Winter Assault on, all the guard. All of them. Except for some of the advisors.
Boom, 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 boom.
The thought of kowtowing to these creatures disgusts me. The orcs are a tool, nothing more. And quite an effective one, I might add. Perhaps. But I dislike providing such unpredictable aliens with our own weaponry, Lord. Orcs are not unpredictable. Quite the contrary. You can rely on them to turn against you. But they will honor our agreement as long as we provide them with enemies to satiate their battle lust. If we intimidated them into doing our bidding, showed them our strength, they would take part.
He kind of sounds like Sam Witwer.
Yeah, this is like Scott McNeil's Dinobot and his galley.
With the orcs. We came for and be gone before they finish with. And turn on us.
Uh-oh.
So, explanation. I was
What's going
invited
on?
to something.
Talking with them humans instead of fighting.
I thought you were leaving.
Them smelly
I was.
voices.
And then I was told, sorry, change of plans, go fuck off.
Challenge for
Oh,
And I was
lovely.
like, shit, now I have to do the fucking walk of shame back here.
they need us to fight for 'em.
Wonderful.
So the thing I was doing earlier today, since Dunn is gone for a minute, I was watching the Yuvu cast take down some of Anomaly Inc.'s videos, and I was like,
Chop them up.
dude,
I'm
this
sorry.
guy's argumentation is just the same or worse than replicas.
So Dunn just fucking left this playing while he fucked off.
Probably.
And establish a base before destroying the war boss and his clan.
Combine the holy fire of the whirlwinds with the jump packs of our assault marines. Cleanse this area.
Dunn cannot get enough shit from me today.
And this being the first and last time you ever need to use assault marines in this frigging game.
I think you're the only one who even understands what that means. Trip, you
Well,
said you
percentage
like.
time prevent.
Unfortunately, assault marines kind of suck. Now, raptors, they look the same, they fight kind of the same, but because they can have flamethrowers, they don't suck.
I understood nothing of what you just said. Trip, you said
Just your
Dunn got
opinion.
you this game?
Yeah, he did. I really haven't had an opportunity to play it because,
Million games.
Age
I've
of
been busy.
Empires, yada, yada,
Yeah.
yada. And I haven't been playing too much lately.
Yeah, I know. Busy and too many games. So I'm guessing you can translate nothing of what Drake just said. All right.
No. And I probably, even if I had played the game, I probably wouldn't be able to simply because I don't know the lore.
I don't know what's so hard to translate about assault marines suck, but
I don't know what a fucking assault marine is. For all I know, it's a
The jetpack
chimpanzee
guys.
in armor.
well,
Probably the little
you're
red
not
guys.
wrong.
Yeah.
More like a silverback in armor, but
This would be somebody from his family came in and he had to disappear for a bit.
Indeed, for an undetermined amount of time, which he will not update you on. He will also return in the most inconvenient moment for somebody. It might not be you, but it will be inconvenient for someone.
So I'm assuming Drake likes to play this game.
oh hell yeah! Yeah, Dawn of War, the original, is like right after Dark Crusade, in my opinion. Even though it's like what happens later in the franchise really starts blowing the original out of the water. Winter Assault definitely makes things a lot harder because you're playing as Guard. But Guard are actually kind of funny because depending on what era you're playing them in, they can get hilariously cheap.
Hilariously cheat? Is that what you said?
Cheap.
I think.
Yeah, it's like they have some of the longest ranges of their basic units in the game. It's like even longer, about as long as Tau, but not quite as long as Kalyan Tau. Kalyan Tau is pretty nuts.
I play Clash of Clans. I felt like that was an appropriate time to say that.
I play Fruit Ninja.
I have that
Ninja's
installed on my
pretty.
phone. I just absolutely never open it. They fucking made it so much weirder than I re-downloaded it on a whim like a month ago. Because I'm like, Fruit Ninja, let's see how that's gone. They've changed it so fucking much. There's like new blades and shit that you have to unlock with quests rather than just having you buy them now. You fucking buy them. They're not achievements. Don't know when that happened.
I imagine
So what do
someday
you-
they're just gonna upgrade and let you buy guns.
So what is your guys' opinions on the James Cameron Avatar films?
Boo. In other words, boo.
Really? You paid no attention to the conversations that have taken place around that.
Trips made her
Mm,
opinion on the second one quite clear.
I don't know because I don't think I remember, or I was even a part of the conversations.
The
To be
first
fair,
one sucked. The second one you would have to pay me to watch.
The first one
Because-
does not suck.
And now we have a
I
potential
liked
war.
the first one, and then there was this whole conversation and bargaining and bitching and manipulating because
Citizens of the biological USB cable, I invite you to stand up and fight for the planet where I first got laid.
Finish trip.
Because I was gonna say that Mr. Anomaly made an 8-hour-long defense video for the what was it? What was the sequel called again?
Way of
Way of
water.
Way of
not
Water.
the sequel. I didn't get to the sequel situation because Kai absolutely refused to watch that no matter what. Just,
Smart.
I mean,
I will fucking.
Now wait, because all based on reviews that he had seen, and I think you all know how I feel about that. You can
Not
feel
just
however
reviews.
you want about a movie or a show or a book or whatever. You're welcome to have your own opinions and like or dislike, but only based on the fact that you gave it a try yourself. Form your own fucking opinion. Don't take on somebody else's. So,
Trip.
this
Counterpoint,
went
I
on.
gave Gundam Seed a chance, and now I want those 45 hours back.
Oh, well,
I'll
and
let you-
I'm not saying like you have to do the whole thing or whatever, but at least give it a try. So after weeks, if not months, of back and forth about this shit, I finally got him agreed to watch it. But then I decided to give it a try myself beforehand, and yes, I freely admitted that 15 or 20 minutes into the movie, maybe half an hour max, I went, no fucking way. It
Yeah.
was horrible. And it wasn't because it was a tech demo or anything like that. It was because the writing was horrid.
What do
The
you
Everything was
describe?
stupid.
story was horrible. Avatar 2 Way of Water. I mean,
yeah.
it was bad. And I can enjoy some
Bad
poorly
stuff.
written and even poorly acted stuff if it has other cool elements that I like. But yeah, Avatar 2, just no. And there are very few movies I will just flat turn off and not watch once I've started. And that was one of them.
Yeah,
And
go
I
watch
absolutely
Little
love the
Cartoon's
first
7-hour
one.
review.
Nope.
I'll just say this,
Huh?
Trip. Are you really surprised that a Mormon is adopting someone else's opinion and beliefs? Is that really a surprise for you?
A Mormon, but I'm from Earth.
I have no idea where that's from.
Simpsons?
I do not watch Simpsons.
Yeah, I really haven't watched
Fucking
much
die in a hole.
Simpsons either.
You, sir, are a moron. A Mormon, but I'm from Earth.
Mormon, Martian. Yeah, I see.
I do often call Dunn a moron instead of Mormon.
Cringe.
And I truly believe that when God was writing the Mormon religion, he misspelled moron. It's just a typo error in our simulation.
The Matrix. There's a glitch in the Matrix.
Well, Shai has finally been subjected to a little bit of the religious discussions that Kai and I have.
I find what I've seen, I do find entertaining. You forget I do like discussions and debates, and
No, I know you do, but that was actually, I will admit, that was actually one of the things that I've always really liked about him, because right off the bat, after I first met him, we started talking about religion, and I can be very very passionate and very questioning and very fucking sarcastic about religion
Yep.
and very blunt. And yeah, that's what cracked me up about that episode so much because it's just met with this equanimity of, well, okay, no, but actually, and yeah, okay, I can
Perhaps
see
isn't.
where you get that from. Yeah. And I'm just like, wow, I only know like maybe 3 people in the world that I could have just a straightforward religious conversation like that who don't just,
Scream.
Use it.
yeah, pretty much get very heated and very, very supremely opinionated and condescending and, all of that. So,
I'm guessing I'm not one of those since we tend to agree on most things on that front.
well, yeah, that's, but that show is really cracking me up because the way they are in that show, I'm just like, okay,
Dum
yeah,
dum dum dum.
that's just pretty much just this, okay. We're like the fucking cleavers, okay? We're, But anyways, that started with Avatar 2, so yeah. I mean, if you haven't seen it, give it a try, but
Avatar 2,
wow.
Hydraulic Boogaloo.
God, it was just, my God, the writing, some of the worst writing I have ever
You
seen,
didn't
and
even
that's
reach
saying
the
something.
pacifists. Trip, you didn't even reach the pacifists.
Who are
It
the
gets so
pacifists?
much worse.
What are we talking
Yes.
about? Avatar still?
Yes, Avatar 2. There's a bunch of pacifists who then also suddenly become unpacifist one point in the movie without hesitation.
So I'm kind of curious because I'm gonna watch Avatar 1 and 2, and I'm gonna watch Anomaly's 8-hour defense of those movies.
Well, I
I
could
really
see the first one. I just don't see a lot of defense for the second one. I really don't, because,
Yeah.
wow.
So, Trip, you don't give a shit about spoilers. I'll just explain a little bit of the stupidity. Basically, our 2 main protags and the family run away from their jungle kingdom because they're under threat from Resurrect Guy. And so they decide, let's go to the island people who basically look like us, except they have different tails and thicker limbs for swimming and all that shit. Basically, think monkeys is them, and they are like fucking mermaids.
You know what the most fucking ironic in like the moon's fucking aligned moment I had earlier this morning? I was about planning on like doing more research into like the whole prequel shit. I'm like, okay, I'll go watch the UVU cast, the construction of like Cosmonaut and all this shit. And then the one I first started off was, I think it was, I don't remember the guy. It was the guy with the glasses. He kind of yells a lot. Patrick Williams, I think. Or was it I Hate Everything? I don't remember which one. But it was about Phantom Menace, and I'm like, I'm tired of hearing about Phantom Menace, so I kind of turned off the fucking video and went to use the bathroom or something. And my fucking parents are playing Phantom Menace in the next room over, loud as shit. Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me! That shit just does not happen on a whim.
When a fat guy walks through a dark hallway, the Phantom Man-ass.
Shut up, guy in the hole, killing me to sleep. And
I only understand maybe 10% of what the hell you guys say most of the time.
Believe me,
Not
it's the
alone
same
in
thing when
that.
you go in your rants too.
Oh, I know I do, but I think you at least kind of understand.
Oh, he's back. He's finally awake. Back
He
from
got
that
out of
Imperial
his
ambush.
pods. He was having a pod recalibration earlier today. It didn't fully work, so they had to put him back in for a bit.
Oh, and you missed the whole Avatar discussion.
Yeah, that
There was
sucks.
no discussion.
Yeah,
that's a terrible film.
because
They both suck.
Anomaly made.
No.
Hold on, I was thinking first. I was about to say Anomaly made an 8-hour response, 8-hour fucking defense video for those movies, and I'm like, I gotta watch those movies and finally watch the sequel for the first time. And I'm like, I'm gonna be curious to how this guy argues those, because his prequel defenses were some of the worst shit things I've seen, and I heard Replica try to argue. I guess Anomaly is a step ahead in some aspects because he tries to explain.
Yeah, the
But he's-
problem is Noms. I like the guy, but his argumentation is really bad. He's clearly not schooled in any kind of debate.
He doesn't even know what different basic definitions are. Like, I watched
Basic
his-
definitions. Oh, so.
I
There
watched
is
his
nothing in that direction done.
Oh, there isn't?
Nope.
Okay.
You're supposed to
Okay.
jump over.
Yeah.
You're supposed to jump off the cliff with the Marines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Go 300. Anyways, he was kind of talking about Halo and comparing like plagiarisms between Halo and what was it, Aliens and stuff. He was trying to big up that bait. Like, look at how similar these scenes are. It almost seems like it's borderline plagiarisms and stuff. And I'm like, do you even know the definition of that word? Because that kind of definition is or it isn't kind of definition. And I think we all know what the definition of plagiarism is. It's pretty much, it is kind of a strange one, but it's pretty defined, I would say.
Yeah, well, he said that Avatar was plagiarism, or what?
No, I would have to actually, wish I could show you, but you're playing a game right now.
No, you just keep talking. Just keep talking.
Don't worry, Dunn's not gonna pay full attention to what you're saying, even if he wasn't playing a game. Or actually, correction, he will just always have a game
Yeah.
and never pay fully attention.
The practice of taking someone else's work and ideas and passing them off as one's own. But clearly that's not what the case was. It's literally it's incorporating other people's ideas without acknowledging.
So am I about to die?
the
Have I misplayed this? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you're supposed to lead with the whirlwinds. At least take out the wall banners.
Oh, okay.
It's presenting work of other people's without acknowledgement is plagiarism. Is essentially what it is.
Yeah, it's...
And Bungie clearly stated that they were heavily inspired by movies like Aliens, Event Horizon, and another one I'm missing. So, like, by definition, it is not even close. Starship Troopers, yeah.
Yeah, that tends to be the one. Also, you're gonna have to take them off their ceasefire stance, the green one.
Like, it's like he's trying to apply that, like, Bungie's almost plagiarizing fucking those movies. Bungie, what they did, it's like, Jesus Christ, man. And there was far more egregious examples in his prequel movies. I was watching the Uwu cast earlier.
Yeah, I love the Uwu cast. The Uwu cast is great.
Though they seem to, at least one of my biggest criticisms of like the first Phantom and Attack of the Clones is like the whole Republic not having an army thing. Maybe I will talk to them in their Discord since I got back into their Discord recently. Maybe talk to them about it a bit more. But I like the fact that the Republic has its own, doesn't have its own army, and like Palpatine as presented in the movies, like the Republic and his relationship with the Trade Federation. It almost makes it seem like he could just take over the Republic then and there.
Yeah, it's really weird. He could easily just take over the Republic.
Because his relationship with the Trade Federation almost seems like he has them by the balls somehow, and they're kowtowing to him. So it looks like he has like a stranglehold over them.
Which doesn't make any sense. Or at least, well, it could make sense. They just don't go into how it makes sense. And the funny thing is, Newt Gunray is still on his team, technically. Well, yeah, actually, no, he is on his team. We know in Revenge of the Sith he is fully aware of Lord Sidious.
Yeah, but I think that was one of my earlier criticisms: is who is Palpatine to them? Why does he hold such a stranglehold over them? Like, yeah, they made a deal, but it seems like it's far more deeper than that. Because the way he talks to them, like demeaningly and stuff. Like, get this stunted slime out of my sight. Like, they cower before him. Like, he is someone to be feared. And it's just...
What are you talking about again?
We're talking about the Phantom Menace, the Trade Federation, Palpatine, and then like why doesn't Palpatine use the Trade Federation just to take over the Republic and just annihilate their capital and just their government and just replace it? Why do this whole scheme about giving the Republic its own army, destroying it within when the Republic can't do anything anyways? Like, there's no point of taking it from within when the Republic is so fundamentally weak to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's not even like Rome or anything. It's worse. It's like being held together by toothpicks.
Tinfoil.
Yeah. I was going to give him a little bit more, but I guess tinfoil works.
Sorry, I'm a big fan of hyperbole. Hyperbole for humorous purposes.
Oh, I'm a huge, enormous fan of hyperbole. You don't even know.
It is one of the greatest things ever invented.
Oh yeah, and the Isidore lines. Hope is the first step on the road to disappointment.
That has become true with most modern movies.
Assault Marines are now available to us. They can be built from the chapel barracks.
They can be. They won't be.
Yeah, I don't use Assault Marines very often.
Yeah, the problem with Assault Marines and Space Marines is that the way Space Marines are supposed to play is that you're supposed to make an assload of tactical squads and then join an apothecary to each one, and that gives them not just their heavy Astartes armor and their good ranged weapons, but it also means that they heal faster. So they're basically turned into these unmovable bricks, and then you just like roll across the map.
And that's
and you can't join. Either you can't join an apothecary into an assault squad, or if you do join an apothecary into an assault squad, they no longer can jump, which is the point. It's like, theoretically, Marines are supposed to be mixed arms. It's just they never need to bother. Shooting is so good in Dawn of War, it's like, who cares?
Yeah, melee doesn't totally matter.
No, the problem with melee is you're getting hit too. And Space Marines don't really do enough melee damage to justify it, like, say, Knobs or later on Khorne Berserkers. Or heck, in this game, Possessed. Possessed are pretty good at it. That's a Ceramite gangbang.
Okay, idiot.
That's funny.
Yeah, because especially later on in this level, melee is not going to matter. Spoilers.
English language, the English language is a funny thing. It's like sometimes you hear a word and you try to spell it out, but it just doesn't look like the way it sounds like, and it just trips you up infinitely. Oh, at least for me it does. Such a stupid thing.
Yeah, if you've got nothing better to do with the servitor, I would at least get him there. Because heresy comes from heresy grows from idleness, so don't
Indeed.
just sit around doing nothing if you can at all help it. Then again, this game is extremely forgiving.
The more I look back on these particular people, the more I'm like, God damn, I have grown since 2019.
I concur with that.
Yeah, you know you can give them two of the same weapon, right?
Yeah, I know. I was just kind of saving things.
Yeah, I think plasmas might actually help later on. Trying not to spoil if you don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
I'm going to split Dunn's attention more because why not? So I'm trying to make the synchro deck the Trip sent me oh so long ago that I could not really use because it's really blurry, and I finally decided to get off my ass and just snapshot and Google Lens it. And because of that, what?
Which synchro deck?
I don't know. You think I understand different types? She sent me one. I managed to make the template despite the blurriness after like 5 hours, and I'm trying to kind of get all the resources. So I've been fighting a little bit more just cuz. And there was one asshole which I had to fight, which basically he had 2 spell cards that just made me want to fucking die. Not just in the game. Basically, I cannot battle unless I discard a card. I have to fucking pay a toll with that. And another one which does some damage every time I try to activate an effect or summon a card. And I'm just like, you motherfucker. And this dickweed managed to screw me up several times when I tried to, because you know I have only one solution to this, is the fucking Guardian Chimera. That is the only way I can destroy those 2 cards. Because also, if I tried to just power through, he has cards to just flip the bad damage back at me like Magic Cylinder, though he never used that card. So I'm just getting irritated. I'm trying to keep resummoning Guardian Chimera. I have only one of these. And I'm trying to get him out of banishment and then back in the deck so I could summon him again and destroy 2 fucking cards. And
Do you mean Chimera, the flying mythical beast?
Guardian Chimera.
I'm talking about a shit game called Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh no, Drake is fully familiar with said crappy game.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I
Guardian
played
Chimera
it
is a
in
different
the
thing.
Synchro era, and I played it basically from Legend of Blue Eyes all the way to the GX era.
You were speaking to someone who does not care. I hate this game, and I hate that I play it anyways.
You're kind of correct. I mean, there's a reason I don't play it now.
I
Well,
really
I
hate.
played an interesting fusion deck earlier. It was part fusion that I'm familiar with and part Dragon Maid.
Oh.
Gross.
So
That
you,
was a pain in the ass.
so you were saying aspiring, and then I think White had something to say. That he
It's not
hates
really.
March.
It's not really relevant. I'm just having like this midlife crisis kind of thing. Like, I really wish I actually paid attention to English, but when I was younger.
What?
So, like, that's why I told you it wasn't really relevant. That's kind of was just mumbling to myself.
I'm confused by what you mean. What do you mean?
Because I'm like looking up definitions of words all the goddamn time. Like the difference between verbs, adjectives, and nouns. I'm like, oh my god, it's just embarrassing. or like the exact definition of the word plagiarism, or some other words that are not very common amongst common speech, at least in person. Things are the words that are more common amongst the people on YouTube and stuff. Not something you hear on a day to day in your average life, at least around my town and at Walmart and such. People speak very plainly here, I guess.
Hmm.
Their vocabulary isn't much better than mine.
Never make a whirlwind. Whirlwinds are garbage.
Yeah. So basically, just go for dreadnoughts.
Yeah. There's a way where whirlwinds get really cheap in multiplayer, but it's in the campaign, it's all about how quickly can I get this done, because I don't want to just sit here all day gathering resources. And at that, whirlwinds are really bad because their damage output is really slow.
I getcha.
Oh, my brain hurts
It's
already.
like they'll shoot a rocket into a horde of guys, and then they'll just go flying all over the place. Big freaking deal. It really doesn't matter unless you can actually like capitalize on their knockback, which is a strategy at higher levels of play, but it's probably not relevant here. I mean, what difficulty is this?
Let me see. I can't remember actually. I think it's probably like standard or something.
If it's the default, then it's probably normal.
The immortal emperor, mind over matter. I serve is the first step on the road to his
Yeah, let me see one of your heroes. By their HP, I can probably tell. Yeah, this is normal. Possibly even hard.
Huh.
Yeah, but don't worry. Hard mode is stupidly easy.
It is better to die for the emperor than live for yourself.
Yes, most beneficent one.
Yeah, you want to make as many of those dreadnoughts as possible.
Okay.
You will need like 12.
Bye, Trip. Trip saying she's leaving in private chat. Everyone say bye.
Bye,
Bye,
Trip.
Trip.
I am tripping.
Good night.
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 Knowledge is power. While the enemies of the emperor still draw breath, let peace. The area is secure.
By the way, that duel I was talking about, I don't know what the fuck the guy was doing. The cards also affect him. Both of us just kept passing turns.
Yeah, that sounds like chain energy and toll. Was that it?
I don't know, but I'm gonna look that up because, like,
Yeah. Burn decks are always run by dickheads.
I'm not even sure if it was a burn deck with this one. Because
It sounds like a burn deck.
it's weird. He could not have killed me by burning me out. Not with one of the cards making it so I don't want to play cards. So his strategy seemed to be make battling just a pain in the ass, and then keep having trap cards that can deflect the damage back at me, which he tried to do at the end when I finally managed to destroy 2 cards, giving me a pain in the ass. But I was smart and didn't use my Mirror Jade. So when he played that card, I just banished the one about to kill me, and then killed him. He probably rage quitted, considering that battle took like 15 fucking minutes. Or maybe longer. It was such a long fucking battle of both of us not being able to do jack shit. It was an awful fucking deck. I hate it.
That servitor is dead.
I saved that duel. You can watch it if you want. It's fucking stupid.
You know, the Uvu cast earlier today had an.
Oh, no,
You're
go
fucking
for it.
right. It was chain energy and the other thing you said. You were fucking
Toll.
right.
Yeah,
Totally.
I remember those from way back in the day.
Fucking. He also forgot about it. You played a card that's like negate all face up. Actually, I think this was a different guy. Someone played a card being like negate the effects of all face up cards.
Oh,
Or like
skill
all
drain?
face up monsters. What?
Skill drain?
Maybe. Let me see. It might have been, yeah. That actually might have probably killed him because it only did monsters, so I just kept summoning shit. And he couldn't negate that with the one thing he had, which he forgot about because he tried. And I'm just like, screw you. Fuck Yu-Gi-Oh! Hate Yu-Gi-Oh! Why do I fucking play that game?
Because you
it's
love
addictive.
suffering.
Okay,
is
do you
not
notice that
untrue.
the machine cult's rally point? To have your dreadnoughts immediately walk up when they're
Oh
created.
yeah. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
And
cool.
he spins him.
And he just knocks, just turns them into meat. That's great.
So, what I was going to say earlier is that the UvaCast in this Anomaly versus Cosmonaut video series, they were arguing about who was the main character of the Phantom Menace. They're having this lengthy debate about if it because what they were saying was Qui-Gon couldn't be the main character because he dies. He's supposed to be the what was the type of character he is? He's kind of the
Mentor character.
No,
mentor.
shut
Yeah.
up. That doesn't mean he can't be a main. A mentor
I
character
know.
can.
I know because I'm like they got all caught up on this. Like all you had to do is just look up the definition of like main character and they just find out immediately.
Richard
mean,
the Third dies at the end of Richard the Third, and he's the main character of Richard the Third.
Hell,
One
even Mary Sue dies in her own fanfiction.
One, main characters can very well die in their own shit, and two, there can be multiple. And this is why I don't particularly care to define which of my characters are main, because I'm like, some of them they switch in and out.
Yeah, it's
They
not
just-
like being a main character gives you a power bonus.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just
the- like-
50% resistance against mooks.
Hell, your POV character could technically not be the main character of your story.
I
Which is
mean, main
something
character.
Hmm?
I said I was looking at the definition by itself, and it's like the characters with the most amount of influence on the plot, or the characters that the plot has the most influence on.
Yeah, so you could technically have a POV character that is not your main character, which is admittedly something I've wanted to try.
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty cut and dry.
It's stupid. It's very fucking stupid.
It's like a lot of these arguments can just be solved by just looking up their definitions of like the words.
This is why you regret not taking English?
Yeah. I mean, it's not hard. Luckily, I live in an age where I can just look it up. I mean, obviously, dictionaries existed for a long time, but the fact that you can just type it in like 2 seconds, it makes it even less of an excuse.
I'm going to tell you, and because it's on stream, technically the entire world, this little interesting fact about me. I was fucking terrible at English for so many fucking years. I actually had to retake English in summer school in middle school because I got an F. And I will be slightly fair to myself. That teacher is a fucking bitch, and I hope to have revenge on her one day, unironically. She is why I have the very strong belief Indian teachers are the fucking worst. They are just absolute assholes without a fucking exception. All of them. They are all shit. Anyways,
Some of the reason why my school education is like really bad, besides the fact that I think one of the major things was because I wasn't interested at all. So like it kind of went one year out the other. It's also how the education system works, at least at the schools I was at. How they don't really just care; they just kind of just throw you along the assembly line, regardless of your actual score.
just
You
I'll
can
say
get
this,
an
your
F in every. Go ahead.
no,
I
you
was, like,
first.
I was about to say because at least in the schools I was in California, they'll just throw you to the next grade regardless of like your grades or whatever.
That is actually the opposite of what I had to experience. My high school was actually noted to being unique in that you actually cannot get anything less than a C and get to next grade. There was no D grade, there was an I. Basically A, B, C, I, F. The I stood for incomplete, and you basically had to go to the teacher and ask for some way to make up whatever work you weren't able to do or failed at to either get your grade up to a C or go to an F and fail. They did not let anyone below a C pass.
I probably
Which-
would have been for the better if we're honest.
Yeah, but it caused quite a bit of suffering as well.
Necessary
But,
suffering because I see you're not terribly well. You're far more versed than I am in English.
well, I'm not completely sure how much credit I'll give that to my school. My school never taught me semicolons. I had to learn that myself.
Me
Same.
fail English? That's impossible.
And with all due honesty, I do not think my English classes are why I ended up getting good at English. I ended up being kind of the one kid in class who had no struggle in English at high school. And it's definitely not because of the teachers.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
The
Kinda.
only thing they do in high school in English at one point is, oh, we are going to read these books and we're going to talk about these books and make you write an occasional essay or something. That's basically what they did. There was not much more.
I was god awful at that.
I managed to do decently well, at least. You eventually know how to fucking do it. And hey, I'll
Or
admit,
fake it.
yeah, okay, let's face it, one of the most useful skills that schools will teach you is how to bullshit. Genuinely. But yeah, only one high school teacher of mine I would call good would be my ninth, because he actually tried to get us all to write a fictional piece with very, very loose instructions. He wanted us to have like flexibility, which is actually how I started writing. So I have him to thank, and I'm forever grateful. He was fired. Or rather, they parted ways because I'm pretty sure they were going to fire him. So that was like the one good English teacher in that fucking school just gone. Rip. And his life didn't get-
I'm like looking at like the major bullet points of a main character. It's like center of the story. It makes the key decisions, experiences the consequences, primary actor propelling the story forward. That sounds a lot like Qui-Gon in a lot of cases. Because he like,
Actually-
experiences the consequences of dying.
Wait, I'm curious now. White, did your school make you read 1,000 Splendid Suns?
No. I don't even
Fuck.
know what that is.
God damn it. None of you shits are gonna fucking have read that book. That's like the one book in the goddamn curriculum that I actually enjoyed reading. It's just there's like 3 or 4 books in all of my school years that I actually read and liked. Thousand Splendid Suns being one, Anna Byzantine being a second, and that one is definitely not a common choice. That one I think was just the teacher giving it to us. And ironically enough, it was the teacher I hate the most, but hey, a broken clock can still be right twice.
Speaking of 2 times, only 2 books I cared about in school: Hamlet and Of Mice and Men.
I thought you were about to say the Playboy Bunny, but you know.
Did anyone read The Giver?
I watched
The
the
Giving
movie,
Tree?
The Giver.
I keep
watched-
confusing it with The Giving Tree.
No. At least you watched the movie. From what I could tell, the movie wasn't actually all that bad.
No, it was a pretty good adaptation by all accounts.
Yeah, it was also a good book. It was like, oh, okay, like there's
I
stuff
know
this.
I know that there was I read Anthem by Ayn Rand. It's a book about how about this guy that figures out electricity, and he's like frozen out of being able to do it by his community.
Did not read that one.
I
They
think one of my-
actually had you read Rand in high school. That is
yeah,
wild.
yeah. At least I think it was. Since I think it
I-
was.
You didn't go to high school, right?
I actually, it was options day.
What?
But I did options day. Basically, the idea is that you go 1 day a week, and you, in my specific literature class, sampled a lot of different books. Maybe it wasn't Anthem. Maybe it was something else.
Thinking back to it,
No, it's yep, it is Anthem. Yep, it is Anthem.
thinking back to it, I actually have two things to thank for me reading and what I read, and that is one, my sister, who is the reason I got into Brandon Sanderson. Oddly enough, though I have outpaced her in that by fucking leagues. And to some extent, my
Rand
school,
and
despite the fact
Sanderson.
Randall Sanderson. Anyways, yeah, despite the fact I shit on the school for the amount of crap they've given, I do technically have them to thank for me getting into reading at all, because 5th grade, my teacher was like, pick a book to read from this wide selection, and one of them was Percy Jackson, which was my reading gateway drug. If that teacher didn't do it, I would have probably never cared to read.
What was your graduating year?
2020.
Jeez. Back in my day, people were reading Harry Potter.
I never read Harry Potter. I think I purposely avoided that.
Harry Pothead, who?
Harry Pothead and the Stone Sorcerer.
That sounds
like a
like
good
a
time.
very...
And of course,
Hard
there's Harry
sorcerer.
Potter and the Prisoner of Afghanistan, but the joke's like 20 years old.
I never heard
Oh
that
my
one before.
god. I want
You've
all...
never heard Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Afghanistan?
I just have this
I-
funny image of like a drunk Harry Potter crashing into the Twin Towers. How I have to write that down somewhere.
I want an Arlnauts of Harry Potter now.
Dun, 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 dun.
Also, not quite as good, but Harry Potter and the Half-Wit Prince.
Eh.
Yeah, it's
I
Prisoner of Afghanistan is a hard thing to follow. And there's the Squiggoth. Good luck.
Okay.
That thing is one big sumbitch. And he will eat your dreadnoughts. But your dreadnoughts are just about the only thing that can do decent damage to it. Yeah, arguably those looted tanks are even worse because they will just bounce you around and it's irritating. It's like, you have Meltabons unlocked? Do
What?
you have Meltabons unlocked? Barracks. No, you don't. That's like the one good thing about Assault Marines is that they get Meltabons to do like massive damage to tanks and structures.
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, here comes Big Boss Orc among us.
Orc among us.
Yeah, you seriously need to be using your rally effects.
Probably do, yeah.
Yeah, it's another really obnoxious thing about playing Space Marines. Breaking their morale is pretty pointless.
I Oh wait, so this video 8-hour video is just on the 2009 film? Oh, okay. I thought that was for his Way of Water video. For Way of Water.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Both are bad.
I haven't seen the first one in a long time.
Oh, the first one sucks. It's a terrible movie.
Can
It's
you
an
give me
empty, vacuous piece of nonsense that has
The
no
Way of
merit.
Water. Now that's what I call low quality H2O.
So what is your problems with that movie? I vaguely remember the story, but I don't remember much.
Well, it's just that it's just lacking in any kind of creativity or interest. It's
Which
a
one?
generic, empty film that doesn't have any value, add any value to any It is incredibly lazy. It's just
Which film?
Avatar.
Avatar.
The first one, right.
Both are bad.
Take Dunn's opinion slightly with a grain of salt.
I would have to rewatch it for myself before going
Why?
anything into concrete.
Yeah. Just you done there's not just with Avatar, with some things you do just dislike them because you're like, I've seen this before, therefore I don't like. Which-
No, it's the fact that this is lazily recycling stuff we've seen before.
This is because you have seen things before. That's why I'm like,
No,
I do take it
I
slightly
saw Avatar before I saw the other things. Technically, I haven't seen most of the things that it talks about. But I just kind of say that Avatar, just the only thing that's most of the appeal of Avatar is the visuals alone. There is nothing else that Avatar has that is interesting.
It's like, what if they made Captain Planet, but without the dignity?
Or the AIDS,
Planet?
the AIDS conversation.
I used to watch a little bit of Generation Tech and Generation Films. You know those guys?
Never
Sounds
heard of them,
familiar.
no.
Yeah. Their Generation Tech's mainly a Star Wars channel. I stopped watching a long fucking time ago when it started getting shit.
And
the
isn't he like a
movies
very
are-
milquetoast fucking channel that doesn't really start up anything? Doesn't have much of an opinion of their own kind of YouTube channel.
I'm not again, been a long time since I've seen them. They definitely tried to play it safe when Star Wars started getting shittier and shittier because I think they also believed it was shittier and shittier and didn't want to fucking lose their audience. So a little bit, yeah. And Generation Films is they not as specific. It's where they want to talk about other stuff that isn't always Star Wars.
I always
And-
stick to Thor Skywalker. He seems to be like the better one of the trio of the Star Wars people.
And I bring them up because there is like a running joke with them with the Avatar film where they're like the monkey animal fuckers because they keep relating what they do with the whatever the fuck they call it in the movie where they're connecting the blue people and the animals. They basically refer to it as sex.
Oh, the
Oh,
USB
God.
port.
Yes.
That is
Since-
actually very accurate. It is highly sexualized.
It is. That's where
Yeah,
they
it
get the
gives
joke.
new
I do
meaning to
get
the
that.
term dongle.
I will say though, if it wasn't sexualized, it is like an interesting concept.
It is interesting, yeah. That's
They make it weird, but it is actually kind of a cool thing to think about with the whole fucking mother world you storage memory thing.
Oh god, now I got the image in my head of it of like a Navi taking its extension cord and rubbing it up against a furry animal, and it's like, ah! Was it good?
Now we're getting into like gutter territory. We can stop now.
I guarantee there is a dildo shaped like a USB which you can
Stop.
use.
Stop.
This will 100% exist. This is just gonna be a thing. There is a few human constants.
Stop.
One is if it can be made for money, it will be. Another is if it can be sexualized, it will.
Yep, that's the
I
reason we have
hate-
the expression for love or money.
Also, if it can be blown up, it also fucking will.
If it can be
America.
blown or blown up.
If we can make it destructive, we will. If we can weaponize it, we will.
Weaponized
We can
furry.
rebuild it better, faster, stronger. If you try to.
Threaten. All we have to do is like
Is-
threaten. All we have to do is threaten Russia by sending the whole furry population there. Like, oh no, we don't want those. We'll surrender.
The four human constants in human history is religion/factions, capitalism, sex, and weapons. All
Yeah,
four
because
of those
capitalists
things-
needs weapons to defend themselves against the sexy communists.
well, there are some very attractive Russian women.
My friend, Russian women is like a specific kind of kink for people.
Exactly.
If you watch like a spy movie, there will be a sexy Russian almost 70% of the time.
And then he told me that there will be a sexy Russian.
There
What the
will
fuck
be
is that?
a sexy Russian.
And then he told me of the significance.
It will be significant.
I don't know what that's from, but I kind of
Kung
want to
Pao.
watch it.
Kung Pao, if you have not seen that, it is like before abridged series were a thing, Kung Pao was abridged.
Okay.
It is amazing. It is like my personal Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Wow.
There's so many things I want to quote, but if you're going to see it, I don't want to ruin it. Oh, by the way, it's on YouTube for free. Last I checked, anyway.
I just realized I fucking yawned very audibly on stream.
Yeah.
That definitely means I'm fucking tired. I'm gonna go and probably munch on something sleepily before passing out.
Sounds like a good plan.
I will see you all when I see you.
Cringe. Like your mom.
My
I'm
mom is
original.
indeed cringe, among the other things, including being a fucking immature goddamn child. Not literally, but fucking hell.
Yeah, it looks like this
Uh.
level's gonna get wrapped up fairly soon. That's what happens when you drop a whole company of Space Marines on things.
Kill the war boss and destroy his base, yeah.
Faith and duty.
Yeah, the only problem is that WA banners count and they're small. So after you kill the last unit, you're probably going to be wandering around for another couple minutes. Yeah, one tactical squad cannot trade fire with a looted tank.
They're not doing bad actually.
Uh-huh. Yeah, problem is now that they're broken, until you can rally them, they're just going to die very slowly because their damage output goes down dramatically when they're broken. I think their defense also goes down, but I'm not sure. One thing I do know is that their speed actually increases. The theory is you're supposed to be able to move them out of the range of the thing that's killing them.
Is eternal. At your command, faith is eternal.
Look, listen.
And duty.
It ain't over till it's over.
We are the Emperor's chosen. Faith is eternal. Take me in.
Oh, gross. Building fire.
We are the Emperor's chosen. It is better to die for the Emperor.
And the 5 dreadnoughts just sitting back there chilling.
I am ready to serve again.
So they're just dead bodies enclosed in a robotic shell, right?
Dying.
Oh, okay.
Well, granted, dying very slowly. It's like one particular dreadnought, Bjorn the Fell-Handed, was actually so old he remembers the Emperor walking around.
This was before the Emperor basically became comatose, right?
Before he became a corpse.
Direct us to the enemy. Faith is eternal. I will crush those who stand before me.
Mhm.
To me, my brothers, command me. Maintain attack formation.
Now you gotta play Hunt the Wa banner.
Found it.
Awaiting orders. What's your order? We will crush the enemies of the Imperium. Even in death, I still serve.
That might be it.
Command me. Understood. Charge.
At least it's not a giant maze of places.
Nah, that's later.
Hmm.
No time for fear. That comes later.
I am the instrument of his will. Understood. Fear our wrath. At last, back to
Beware
war.
the alien, the mutant, the heretic.
At last, back to war.
And of course, there's the joke that when Space Marines break their morale, it's, and they shall know some fear.
Weapons at ready. It is time.
I started saying that when Space Marines started running away at the start of 8th edition because they had no particular morale rules. Aside from the fact that 5-man squads are essentially immune to morale. Because that's how that works.
So, Dunn, what is your game schedule?
Burned beyond recovery of his genes.
As in the game, your catalog.
Nothing was left of them save for ash.
Usually we'll play. Like I've got Dawn of War. I have regular God of War 2018.
Captain, she bore the 8-pointed
Ah.
the mark of the ruinous powers of chaos.
Because I want to see you try to play Halo 1 sometime.
Tartarus has endured several black crusades led by the terrible Chaos Champion.
At least the original 3 games at some point.
That orcs and these heretics are here at the same time. But I trust the eyes of our scouts. Is it all? Do you sense anything?
I would certainly like to get your opinion on them, at least the story-wise, anyways.
If this demise is any indication, then they would have a sorcerer with them who would be capable of masking their presence.
So how does Warcraft magic work? It's like the psychic stuff.
You mean 40K's magic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's another dimension sort of adjacent to the material realm called the Immaterium, or actually it's called a few things, the Imperium, the Warp, etc. And anything with a soul has a parallel presence there as well. When you're attuned enough to the Warp, you can actually draw power from it and warp reality around to a degree.
So, and that's the power of this guy right here.
Yep. That's why he has to have the psychic hood, because there are things in the warp that will try to get at you, and the psychic hood protects him from that.
And the tubes.
The tubes are mostly just like archaic power sources.
We have little time for courtesies. You and your men must leave Tartarus now.
Alright, let's go to the next one.
Held, and the war boss has been defeated. But this war is far from over. The orcs still threaten to overcome several major population centers and could mass more than a large enough force to overwhelm the Imperial armies present on the planet. We have bought time, nothing more. But this is no longer a primary concern. Our scouts have recovered evidence that the forces of chaos, the great enemy, may be operating on this planet, right under our very noses. We must face this foe wherever they stand. If there is even a chance that they are here, we must seek them out and destroy them. Inquisitor Toth is demanding that we leave the planet. But of all the powers his position grants him, commandeering a space marine company is not one of them. I must admit that I find his presence unwelcome so soon after the events on my homeworld of Cyrene. Inquisitors have a way of inflaming a guilty conscience. And that I do not need right now.
Oh, the line from the last cutscene is like, why is he here? Does he suspect someone of heresy? He is an inquisitor. They suspect everyone of heresy.
Yeah.
This warp storm could trap us here for a month or for a century. We cannot risk staying here. We must evacuate Tartarus before it arrives.
So, do they just reskin a bunch of Force commanders for this one? For each of the models of the non-Force commander, I
I
mean?
believe agents of chaos have taken strong root.
It's like in single player, you'll get a Gabriel as your commander if you recruit one. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
More lives fighting them. We could wish no worse fate for either of our enemies, and to be trapped with the other. But we must leave here now.
That is a matter for my brothers and I to decide. We will use these 3 days to settle our affairs and satisfy our suspicions. Meanwhile, you have our transports to facilitate evacuation.
Colonel Blom, the captain and I must attend to matters of faith. If you would leave us, please.
But surely this involves me as a...
Forgive me for not being clear on the matter. I said please, when in fact I meant now.
Ah, Inquisitors.
Involve him. You should have shown him a modicum of respect.
Captain, you uncovered extensive heresy of your home world. Cyrene, was it?
That has nothing to do with the events here on Tartarus.
But I do. You requested the Inquisition undertake an exterminatus, the destruction of your planet's entire populace, which we obliged.
I still fail to see...
Captain, I am not questioning your loyalty, but I must wonder if your actions on Cyrene have not affected your judgment. Perhaps that was a poor choice of words.
No shit.
That you might see chaos, but it does not exist. I ask that as a loyal subject of the Emperor, you serve the Imperium's interests before your own agenda. Captain, that Inquisitor had no right to speak to you in such manner. But perhaps he is right. The coming storm will trap our enemies here, where they can consume one another.
And what if the forces of chaos escape the system before the storm? No. We will not use this freak occurrence as an excuse to avoid our enemies, or our responsibility. They are here for a reason, and we will discover that reason.
We are with you, brother Captain, as always.
So they're kind of going rogue.
Humans are coming your way in full force. You should hear their heavy feet long before you see them, and smell them.
That's one of the Eldar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Orbital Command has indicated the dropship landed in this general proximity. They've discovered a path, Captain. It's obvious someone has been digging here.
Cut by orcs?
I've never seen an orc lend such a careful hand to a task.
If it wasn't orcs, then it must be the forces of chaos. We will follow this path and discover the truth behind what has transpired here.
Commencing infiltration.
The sacred
Yep.
artifact will now be available to us. Construct it, and we will have access to powerful abilities. It will be done.
Here to serve.
Oh yeah, you need to upgrade your fortress. Because in this game, they make you build both the armory and the chapel barracks. In other games, I think they start in Dark Crusade where you only had to build one.
Yeah.
I am prepared.
Essentially letting you turbo out your tech tree if you know what you want.
I await your instructions.
Scouts awaiting orders. I sense danger. We will root it out. Infiltrating enemy territory. Scouts in position.
What's your order?
There is no such thing as innocence, only degrees of guilt. We shall stand shoulder to shoulder, my brothers, on the road to disappointment.
I am prepared. Agree.
Yeah, you can only join one in at a time. I think.
At your command.
My faith,
Yeah.
my shield.
Yes.
And then there were two.
Initializing build protocol. Yes, most beneficent one. I will do as you ask.
Walk softly and carry a big gun.
Scouts ready.
Yes, most beneficent one. As you wish.
Area secured.
I will do
Scouts
as you
awaiting
ask.
orders. We will move ahead and mark any enemy positions.
Yeah, if you wouldn't think it, but that's a tricky point to hold because the Eldar like jumping around a lot.
Yes, Lord.
Scouts in position. I sense danger. We will root it out.
Yes, most beneficent one. Here to serve. With all due haste.
Beware the alien. The mutant. The heretic.
We will move ahead and mark any enemy positions. Search commencing.
Here to serve. Initializing build protocol. Here to serve. Build routine 721 initiated.
Whoops. Sorry. So what's the story with the agents of chaos, with the chaos people?
Okay, basically 10,000 years ago, after the Emperor came to humanity and he made the Space Marines, and he sent the Space Marines out to reclaim all the lost colonies from mankind's scattered history, from all the aliens beating them down. The Emperor eventually retired back to Earth, and he had, of his 20 sons, he put Horus Lupercal in charge. And Horus went crazy and insane due to chaos-related shenanigans, and he eventually turned against the Emperor. And it's of very widely varying reasons, depending on who you ask why he did it. And that was the Horus heresy. In the end, the Emperor killed Horus, but that's how he wound up on the chair, because the amount of psychic energy it took in order to put Horus down didn't leave the Emperor much left alive, not to mention the wounds Horus caused on him. And so that's why he's in the Golden Throne. So as far as Chaos itself, because Chaos and Chaos Marines are not the same thing, because there's also Renegade Marines, which are basically just non-loyal, but non-Chaos affiliated either. They don't even like worship any demons or anything. They're just like, they want to just hate on the Imperium and break it down because of spite. But in this case, you're basically just dealing with Chaos. This was largely the era of 40k where there wasn't much distinction between Chaos and Renegades.
Okay.
And so Chaos, they'll essentially, instead of revering the Emperor, because Space Marines don't actually worship the Emperor, they know the Emperor is not a god.
Yes, most
Because it was actually another of the Traitor Primarchs who came up with that. And anyway, they decided that in exchange for not having the Imperium at their back anymore, they would draw power from Chaos Demons, who whispered like sweet nothings into their ear and promised them all sorts of power and glory if they would just like perform rituals to let them into the material universe.
They were fleeing. What could inspire fear in an orc?
And as you can imagine, a lot of the Chaos Demons are full of shit.
Yeah,
And not just Nurgle.
Like Slan. I think what's the sex one?
Slanesh.
Slanesh. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you.
Looks like the Codex supports this action.
Mm-hmm.
At your command. Something is not right here. These orc bodies do not look like they were dispatched by Imperial hands. We must proceed with caution. At your command. Praise the Emperor. Together to victory. My faith is my shield. What is it you desire?
So,
Most beneficent one.
Defending objective.
so in a sense, chaos is something different. Has kind of evolved into two separated things. What would you say is the difference between Chaos Marines and just chaos?
Chaos Marines are sort of like the between Chaos and Astartes. And basically the whole point of Chaos Marines is they're just these spiteful beings who have essentially served the Imperium enough and they're done. What they do from there is basically up to them. There are a lot of different cults, a lot of different renegades,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of old converts, new converts, etc. Chaos is very varied.
I see.
In this case, you're fighting the Alpha Legion, though
Yes, it is.
the
Yeah.
fact that they're the Alpha Legion is basically irrelevant. The whole point of the Alpha Legion, in theory, is that they all like pantomime as their Primarch. And so it's like, what's your name? Alfarius. Really? That's the name of your Primarch? Yes, I am Alfarius. And so they essentially, I forget whether they actually think they're Alfarius or they're screwing with people. The Alpha Legion are like stealth operatives, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, they were one of the only ones that could actually have cultists. So I guess that was the idea behind
Yes, I am ready.
them being the Alpha Legion. Because the Alpha Legion are one of the weird renegade legions, but not renegade by choice. Alpha Legion, because they're stealth operatives, they're usually running around the galaxy, so they're not usually near any heavy warp activity necessarily, and so their demonic, their ability to call in demonic allies is usually a lot more limited than other legions.
The Emperor protects.
In Dark Crusade, they even have stealth, which is quite funny. Having a whole fucking Chaos Marine squad being fully invisible.
No, that was Rogue.
Running around invisible.
That was
Oh crap! A Big Mac.
Yes, exactly.
Hmm.
I do like the Devilers in this one, in this game, by the way. They look so cool compared to the original design in the Game Workshop version. I like having big, chunky machines with an artillery cannon, a flamethrower, and big, grabby hands.
Yeah, they look really cool. Unfortunately, they're kind of lame. Stats-wise, the Dreadnought is actually like one of the best walkers.
Yes.
Shooting-wise, I think it depends on what kind of shooting you want. Anti-infantry, the Defiler is better. Anti-armor, I believe it's between the Dreadnought and the Wraithlord. And just in terms of general DPS in combat, I think the Can wins.
Yeah, true that.
I used to know this stuff.
Well, I also played this game back in the day, and I played it also multiplayer, and it still works because Soulstorm is a thing. So I'm very happy upon that. It's just that it's a very, complicated game when you're playing like against what was it again? Against the Imperial Guard. That is actually one of the hardest ones to fight because they have so much CC. It's not even funny because they can equip their main dudes with grenade launchers.
Oh,
Also-
yeah.
And don't forget Eldar with their invisible bases.
Yeah, but if you're playing right, you should have an infiltration detector in your big fat mob. So
Yeah, you do. You need to have that, and if you're playing,
which is why it's always the first upgrade I buy is the thing that makes you detect infiltrators.
Yes, because it's so damn important. They have Tau. They have Eldar has them.
Guard, you don't have to because Guard you can just buy a Sanctioned Psyker and that gives you infiltration detection.
Or with Chaos, you just get Bloodied Blessing to see with cultists infiltration, I believe. So
Yeah, the problem is I freaking hate cultists. They have some of the most garbage HP values in the game.
It doesn't matter. You can make them commit seppuku, so there's no necessary need for that.
Yeah, but they're gonna melt instantly. So
True
why make
that.
them?
Well, that's cultists for you. They're just chimpy infantry.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I
Or-
rely on the sorcerer more, honestly.
the sorcerer is so good with the chaos. Oh, I love that guy.
He's got some great lines.
My wicked intellect shall lead us to victory.
Or when you're playing the campaign in Dark Crusade, so good, so many good lines. I love it. My favorite actually faction to play is still the Necrons in Dark Crusade. They're so fun.
I like playing as Tau in Dark Crusade simply because I don't have to do their freaking bullshit mission. I would rather play Guard's mission than Tau's. Tau's mission is stupidly annoying.
True
It's
that.
like, we're going to throw a greater Narlock at you. And then we're going to do it again. And then we're going to keep doing it until you choke.
my thing about when you're playing the Necrons, you just mass up a massive army. Your massive army died, and then suddenly the Dark Lord comes around and be like, revive, and suddenly everything stands up again.
Yeah. But on harder difficulties, that doesn't really work because you'll just slam the Resorb down, or worse, you'll get grenade launched. So it's like you'll go to pop the Resorb, and then you get knocked down, and then it still counts as having used the Resorb, but it doesn't actually fire the ability. So you have to recharge it again. It's so irritating.
Or when you're playing with when you're playing the Necrons with Soulstorm, you can actually duplicate the goddamn fucking monolith as an illusion. It's ridiculously funny. But then you can choose between the Grim Reaper or the Deceiver, and the Deceiver is actually quite good.
The Deceiver is one of my favorite 40k characters.
Yep,
because
So
it's a
what is
troll.
his story?
What it was is that the Deceiver is essentially the first of the Catan to cross over, I believe. And no, he was the last to cross over, and one of the few remaining still alive. He was one of the big four still left. Him, the Nightbringer, the Void Dragon, and the Outsider. And the Deceiver's thing was he was the one who convinced the Necrons to first go into the metal bodies in the first place.
Okay.
It's like it would finally cure them of their space cancer. It would make them immortal. Technically.
It wasn't wrong, technically.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, he was technically correct. The best kind of correct.
Yes.
And what his ultimate plan was that things sort of got complicated when the enslavers started showing up, because the Catan really like eating things with high psychic power, and it's like a supreme delicacy of theirs. But the problem is that when the enslavers came out, the enslavers just like wiped out so much stuff. And because of that, there was like nothing for the Catan left to eat. So because of that, they had to take the entire Necron faction and just like go underground for literally 60 million years.
Oh well. Surely nothing bad will happen in 6,000 million years.
And his big idea is that I think Mepheterin was that's the Deceiver's Necron name. Mepheterin wanted to essentially seal off the warp, because like while they like eating warp stuff, particularly Slan, it's also like it does not mesh with them at all. It's like while remember me mentioning that the warp is like has a parallel reality for things with souls. Catan are like the exact opposite. They have no soul, and they like erode the souls of anybody that are around. And so because of that, they're like complete anathema to chaos. So despite being huge Zenith homicidal dicks, at least they're sealing off the immaterium so the chaos can't do anything. They hate chaos about as much as anybody else, perhaps even more. And so they wanted to seal off the warp. And to do that, the Deceiver's idea, theoretically, it was retconned before they ever got any traction on this storyline. He was planning to take like a human mutation and create a new race of super Necrons called Pariahs. And these were based off essentially cyborgized Necrons that were based off of humans with the essentially the blank gene, which
Pariah
meant
gene.
that they had the pariah gene, which meant that they essentially also had no warp presence, which is very rare and super dangerous.
Why is it super dangerous?
Because they're all
Because
changes.
the Calexis Temple figured out how to weaponize it.
That too.
But also they can drive psychics and other warp sensitive beings into just like throes of despair just by standing next to them.
So basically, use a rhino or no to get through it.
Yes.
Yeah, the rhino.
Okay.
Well, there are other ways to get through it. You could just like throw a dreadnought up there, but
What's the matter? You need to bring the new stuff.
You need rhinos. Rhinos! Our enemies hide in metal boxes. The cowards. The fools.
Fucking orcs. Every single time you meet a bloody damn rhino, they make that compliment. It's great.
Actually, I think it was Chaos Marine who said that.
yeah, previous Karen.
Yeah.
Proof that even when Scott McNeil is given dog shit to work with, he can really deliver something very mimetic.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I stand ready. Hope is the first step on the road to disappointment.
Oh, he said it! He said it! He said the thing!
He said the thing, dear God! Hold your boxes, people. Hold your boxes.
Yeah, I said that. I like to incorporate like random 40k lines into my just standard lexicon and see if anybody gets it. And hope is the first step on the road to disappointment is one of my favorites. Also, another one is coming up later in this very map, actually. One I really like to cite these days.
Don't they, can you not equip the rhinos with a machine gun or something stupid?
In the tabletop, yes. In here, no. Because it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just transport. Just transport. Only transport. Man, I just woke up and I saw Dunn stream playing Warhammer 40k. And I was like, wow, Dawn of War 2. You know that this is technically Dawn of War 1, right?
Oh, yes.
Because it's like, yeah, it is Dawn of War Part 2, that's correct. But Dawn of War 1 you have, then you have Dawn of War 2, and then Dawn of War 3, they kind of forgot about the whole damn thing that is causing
Dawn of War.
Yeah, Dawn of War. Instead of Dawn of War.
Don't give him ideas.
Don't worry about it. Don't buy Dawn of War 3. Easy.
I did get Dawn of War 3.
Oh, you poor bastard.
You innocent child.
I guess, like, what's bad about it?
It's not 40k.
It's not even, a decent strategy game.
Yeah, it's like their idea of terrain is these giant bubbles, and you're either in them or you're not, and that's so stupid.
No, it is
Shall I
MOBA
just
2.0.
return it? I haven't played it, and I think that I can't remember when I bought it.
Because if you, what was it again? If you're playing, you just have to rush for the biggest boy ever, and then you could ruffle stomp the enemy. It's quite ridiculously stupid. And bubbles everywhere. Bubbles.
Fucking bubbles!
Because they got rid of the cover system. It was fucking stupid.
What is it you desire?
And then they probably didn't even learn from it again because, well, you have Meh Game 2.0
So-
with the Company of Heroes
so
3
get rid
by
of-
removing 2.
So Dawn of War 3 is not worth playing.
It's not even
really.
worth. It's not
Okay.
even worth buying.
Yeah, I don't even own it.
Yeah,
Okay then.
it's
I
not even
will-
worth pirating. So that says a lot about a game.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, let me kind of see if I can return it.
If you have bought it 2 years ago, you cannot return it. If I'm correct, the policy is, I believe, 2 weeks old, and then you can no longer return it.
Let's see. Well, I don't think I bought it. Let me actually see. So, account details. Purchase history. Dawn of War. Master Collection.
Well, you bought the whole damn thing. Ah.
Yeah, I just got the. Let me actually
You got them
check.
all together. That's mistake number 1, because technically, if
Okay.
I'm correct, you
Dawn
could
of
buy the
War.
whole Dawn of War 1.
Oh, Dawn of War 3 I only bought for $10.
$10, still a waste.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's $10
so
you could
March,
bought ice cream with.
Oh, March 18th. So it's
Dang it.
well, $10. I'm okay with the $10.
Oh,
I was so disappointed with how Dawn of War 3 turned out.
yeah, you have an epic trailer and then you see the gameplay. It's like, oh my god, that's absolutely horrible. It almost has the same disappointment when I saw the remake of Rome to the Wall 1.
Well, the nice thing is it was $10. I didn't pay full. I paid only $10 as opposed
Whoa!
to 40.
That is an assload of Dark Reapers. You are in trouble.
Yes, they will vaporize you if you don't have any anti-infantry minions with you.
This is why I really like heavy bolters against Eldar.
Yeah, because they do morale damage, if I'm correct, right?
No, it's flamers.
Also,
Now, heavy bolters do morale damage too, just not as
Oh,
fast
do they?
as flamers.
Hmm.
Everything does morale damage technically. It's just some is negligible.
So are the elves the people that screwed a Chaos God into existence?
Yeah, they're the ones. Yeah.
They did a fuckload of things, and then they
Yeah,
suddenly got
But you
Slanesh
screw
up and running.
one Chaos God into existence and you never hear the end of it.
And then suddenly you lose all your souls. So you have to make yourself a suit of armor, otherwise you die.
Yeah, the
So
Eldar are
just
essentially
use-
subdivided with what their answer was to the fact that Slanesh wanted their souls.
So just go for Hellfire Dreadnoughts, not regular Dreadnoughts.
Well, it's up to you.
No, I'd still go for regular Dreadnoughts. Hellfire Dreadnoughts are basically just Dreadnought armor, but tactical squad weaponry, which isn't
Basically, yeah.
great. I mean, I think a tactical squad with 2 rockets and 2 heavy vultures can actually outshoot one.
I see.
On alert, brothers. The enemy must be nearby. Follow my lead.
Knowledge is power. Hide it well. I can sense the enemy. They are close.
Isidore is so wrong. You can't actually go over that.
At once. Through the destruction of our enemies do we earn our salvation.
So you use heavy bolters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Howling Banshees to get melted by heavy bolters. And so do Dark Reapers, but trading fire generally isn't the best idea without cover. Oh, cover! It's amazing that that's relevant. It's amazing. Yeah, Dawn of War 3, you should try having that thing. Cover.
Huh? Cover? Is that a thing or something?
Cover? Is that like
wolf
bubbles?
spiders.
Imagine
What
a bubble, but natural.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, and you gotta melt those war fighters or they will absolutely melt you. I think they have one of the highest
ones?
fire outputs. No, it's a
They're the
Viper.
ones that just teleported in.
The ones in the center. Well, they're dead now.
Yeah.
Yeah, war spiders are one of the most dangerous infantry in the game.
Yep. Maybe
Some of the most busted.
Well, also flailed ones are also very
Flayed
broken.
ones?
Yeah, they had no morale in Dark Crusade.
What's a Necron unit?
Yeah, flayed ones are okay, but
You could literally spawn them in like surprise, and then everybody's like, "No!"
now what I like doing is just spawning a crap ton of warriors, and then with all the dead bodies, I use tomb spiders to turn their corpses into more flayed ones.
Oh my god, so evil. This game is good.
Direct us to the enemy, and then they're walking in one direction, and you make them just walk in the exact opposite direction.
Also, the voice lines in from the Chaos Marines and fucking cultists is great.
Do you hear the voices too?
Yes, or when you have the worker being like, "Yes, great one, it will be done,"
and the immortal, must win.
But yeah, I always like to build a crap ton of I always like to make a crap ton of those fucking machines. It's great, the Vilas.
I think I'm just going to throw my just throw my rhinos into battle and just let them die, or what do you think?
But they don't attack.
Put your
right?
Marines into the rhinos, and then throw your rhinos in there and let them die, and then the Marines jump out and just hose everything.
Yeah, or make sure that the Marines are jumped out of the Rhino, and then make the Rhinos do all the heavy lifting of taking the fire.
Yeah, other thing you could do is just like have your units spaced out enough that the rhinos can get through them. Just have the rhinos be spotters. But that's really hard in this level because it's really cramped. It assumes that you're playing the, hey, I'm going to stuff everybody in a rhino game. But really nobody does that. Basically,
can you not
Dawn of
build
War
tanks?
is about like leapfrogging with heavy weapons.
So I can build a whirlwind.
No, you can't.
But, well, I mean,
never build whirlwinds. They're garbage.
Well, I know, like I get that. I'm just saying, like, that is the highest tank I have access to.
That's unfortunate.
Tank. Well, then just build turrets. They are quite decent.
Yeah, just wait until you get the predators.
Oh, the predators,
and then use them versus aliens. Alien versus predator.
Well, the predator is one of the best tanks in the game.
Predator rules.
Yeah. But the Baneblade though. The Baneblade.
Not until Winter is on, unfortunately.
Fucking
ready to
Baneblade.
unleash 11 barrels of hell.
Or the what is it? The fucking artillery. What is it called? The fire truck from the Sister of Battles. It's also fucking hilarious.
Oh, the Immolator tank.
Immolator.
Yeah, Immolator. Everything of the Sister of Battle has fire in it. Why? Because no reason why. Just more fire, man. More fire for my fire. Didn't had enough fire there.
Yeah, putting the fire in firepower.
And then you play the tower and you just spam only fire squads. Fire warrior squads. Just spam them a lot. Fire warriors. Great. That thing, it killed everyone.
Yeah, those are Howling Banshees.
It kind of seems like I'm just tearing these guys apart.
Yeah,
Well,
you kind
it
of.
is Eldar, so you should be tearing them apart. They're
And to
evil
be fair, the
aliens, you know?
team is really easy in some cases. They don't fix that issue until Dark
Yeah.
Crusade exactly, but still.
What you kind of want to do is have some kind of spotter go forward while your heavy weapons sit back, and then just kite other Eldar into your range, because that just absolutely eats them up.
Or, you know, build a scout.
Because I think Eldar actually die faster than anything in the game.
Well, you could
The
still
problem
build a-
is that's not the problem. Because Eldar just be cheap with their webway gates.
Yeah.
Webway gates are broken.
Yeah, and they can teleport, which is fucking bullshit. Bullshit. And then when you're playing the Dawn of War, then you play Dark Crusade, and they have their web gates invisible, and I'm like, motherfucker. And then you have to bring all the scouts all the time. It's drones, those little scully boys.
Oh yeah, and Eldar are some of the best infiltration detection in the game too, which also makes them really nuts in Dark Crusade. I don't think
Yep.
they're quite Tau nuts, because Tau infiltration detection is also really ludicrous.
Tau has so much good units, so much variety.
Their
as well.
Pathfinders are insane.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I might have lost my force commander, and there's no way to get him back.
He's in the Rhino. He's in one of the Rhinos.
He's in one of the Rhinos. Okay.
Squad deploy, stand ready. As ordered. This is where I
There he is.
And I was just like, hey, this place is better.
I am the other.
Oh, hell, 40k.
Imperial brand condoms, because the Emperor protects.
The Emperor will always protect, regardless of anything. The Emperor protects. Yes, great lord.
There was a time in, I think, like 3rd edition, where you could buy Carapace armor for your Imperial Guardsmen and it gave him a 4+ saving throw, so basically 50% shot. And it's like one guy I played against was like calling it finest armor the Emperor can provide. And then when he... Oh, this.
When one enemy attacks another, it does not mean they aren't in league, just that they are living up to their lack of honor.
And those who lack honor deserve death.
I love that line. It's like when one enemy attacks another, it doesn't mean they aren't in league, just that they're living up to their lack of honor. Anyway, this guard player would just call the 4+ save, especially when he got a lot of saving throws past the finest armor the Emperor can provide. And then when he started failing crap tons of them, I called it the finest armor the Emperor will provide.
Alright, got those things.
So, at this point in the story, like, what's the Eldar's position in the galaxy? Like,
They kind of found the Necrons and then they got screwed over by it.
Unless you mean their position in this particular story.
yeah.
Well, they're hunting down a chaos artifact, essentially.
Yes.
Yep.
And I believe this faction of Eldar is called Belotan, I think. They're one of the more aggressive of the Eldar Society.
Uh-huh. Essentially, they're
Belotan,
trying to
yeah.
make Eldar great again.
Basically.
Space gummies, I see.
No, other way around.
Who want to murder, apparently.
Yes. Only massive murder. Just continue murdering.
Nah, it's Dark Eldar.
Yeah. Well, they also exist in Soulstorm.
Yeah, but Soulstorm's not that good compared to Dark
At least it
Crusade.
has its multiplayer.
Yeah, and the Mons, I'll give it that, but still.
Oh, look at those boys. Look at those boys. Look at those boys with their DACA.
Yeah, another funny one I heard once at a table was somebody had like one of their priests, one of their chainsaw priests, and he ran up to a bunch, a squad of orc boys and charged into them, and it was like, "Ha! You just got nothing but boys. I have a Catholic priest."
Okay, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
What I always like to do with the orc faction in this game is literally build enough walk towers and then just push the enemy away by just building more walk towers.
Wog.
Walk tower.
This is the song, la 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 la, wah song.
Because
La, la, la.
everything has guns. Everything in everything that the orcs provide have guns. It's quite hilarious.
Yeah, everything's a turret. Which is ironic because if you want a good turret, you build a pile of guns, not a WA banner.
Indeed.
But hey, you can build WA banners. Essentially, WA banners is the only turret in Dark Crusade that has no limit. Because every other turret, you can only build 6 per stronghold.
Yeah. But if you build enough walk turrets, the enemy
WA
cannot
banners have no
push.
limit. Yeah, another one that's really obnoxious? Necrons. Because their summoning cores actually project control areas.
Oh my god, nice.
I once, just to see if I could, I think it was the Panria Lowlands, I just built up everything with the Necrons, and then I realized, oh crap, you can build towers and chain to build more towers, and essentially turn the entire map into nothing but Necron towers.
Sounds like a forest of gun turrets.
Also, the what is it
Basically.
called? The fucking scout units of the Necrons is also very obnoxious to deal with.
Oh,
because it
Wraiths.
can revive itself. It's so stupid.
Kinda. Wraiths are more annoying to fight than use, because I find I have the same problem with Wraiths I have to cultists. Yeah, they can detect infiltrators. They also die really quickly.
Yeah, but they can resurrect themselves, so it's like
Yeah,
you
and
build
the
you
real
build you
problem
build.
with Wraiths is that they eat into your pop cap.
That's
and
true.
Necron pop cap is super valuable because you want to build like all 6 Necron warrior
limited.
squads.
Also, what is it called? The Paragons, I believe. Those things.
Pariahs.
Those are very.
Pariahs?
Yeah, the guys with the sticks.
Yeah, pariahs. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, those guys actually deal max HP damage and then reduce the enemy's max HP. I didn't know that, so when I realized that, it was like, holy shit, that's really good
Yeah.
against high value targets.
Yeah,
because they
pariahs
cannot
are
recover.
essentially the like their relic mulcher.
Yes.
Unless you count warriors, because with Necrons, warriors
Warriors
mulch
are always
everything.
warriors.
Warriors are awesome.
great.
Because if
Scarabs-
you actually upgrade their research the second time, their damage output is freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, their rapid fire is also good then.
Yeah, they
So-
basically become like one of the few Necron units that's good against everything. Because most Necron units are really good against like one thing. Destroyers are really good against infantry, crap against everything else. Immortals are really good against vehicles, crap against everything else. Tomb Spiders are good against buildings and crap against everything else, etc.
The Scarab Swarm is good against infantry, and anything else just vaporize.
They tie things up.
Yep.
So, in kind of in world, is the strategy of the Space Marines? Is their strategy just throw meat at it until they solve the
No,
problem?
that's guard.
Yeah, it's
Space
guard.
Marine
That-
strategy
Space Marines are like-
is to lock onto something from orbit and then just drop pods on it and then crush a single target utterly. And then
And if
once
it-
that single
if-
target is crushed, then you basically instant win. So Space Marines are very surgical in lore.
And if that doesn't
Yeah,
work,
They're
they're
kind
very
of like that
celebrated.
in the game too. It's just you're not at a high enough tech level to really capitalize on that.
Okay,
yet.
you mean the Terminators?
no, you
Yeah.
can drop pod them. It's very fun. You can
You don't
airstrike
need
the
to drop
enemy.
pod Terminators. You can just walk your Terminators into the barracks, and then they can teleport again.
But if you haven't noticed, there are kill animations every single time an enemy kills another minion.
Oh yeah, sync kills. Yet another thing Dawn of War 3 doesn't have.
Yes, it's very annoying because I love it. It's great. It's great seeing seeing a dreadnought just pick up a guy and then crush its bones and then tossing it around.
And more to the point, it's actually kind of tactically useful because when you're sync killing, you don't actually take damage.
Yeah, it's like a cutscene but better.
Yeah, basically.
So it's more kind of very surgical stuff. So
Yep,
but-
it's like they identify the most critical target on the battlefield, and they just like carpet bomb it with people.
So the good Inquisitor senses no chaos here. How fortunate for the
Oh, that poor guardsman.
such keen-eyed eagles stand vigilant.
Oh, rip to Rapperoni, that guy.
Yeah, he got stabbed with a freaking lasgun, which is probably the most damage a lasgun has ever done.
Yes,
Yeah,
because
probably.
technically less guns are very scary to fight, but in this lore, everybody is OP, so
Well,
less
against
guns are
humans
like,
specifically, when you're against, like, say, Tyranids or Orcs, yeah, it's kind of, yeah. The shooter is
it won't
probably
help.
the better the las gun.
Yeah. The thing is, in lore, lasguns are basically like 223 rifle rounds.
As is our tradition.
Hmm.
Then
Mhm.
burn it.
It's just that obviously because they're not metal and brass rounds, they and they're just charged energy. You basically have as much as you can generate power, which is
It misleads and it betrays.
Fun fact, by the
Yeah.
way, if you have a last gun backpack, you can actually make a campfire out of it.
Huh.
And then still use it.
Yeah, so what Gabriel said, that's literally the mantra of chaos, really.
Repairs and be quick.
yeah. I once read a fan fiction where a Vindicare assassin went rogue and stole an Imperial Guardsman's lasgun, and then the general figured out about it and like just shit his pants because you just gave the best sniper in the galaxy like unlimited ammo.
Yes. Also, you could recharge a last gun in a campfire as well because of how the batteries work of that thing. It's very ridiculous. Last guns are OP. I played what is it again? Dark Crusade. Not Dark Crusade. The tabletop
Soulstorm?
version of this game. It was quite funny. It was very hard, but it was funny.
Oh,
but,
Winter Soul, you mean?
Yeah.
Have no fear, sorcerer. I will be there.
I will be there. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
Nah, Terminator's way later.
Yes, but anyway, mission successful.
And next, you get to go to a mission that can really suck on my nuts.
Yeah,
Suck down this
Oh, this one, yeah.
into the maw. Ah, yeah. Lovely.
The ending of this mission can especially choke on salt juice.
My ears are ones of planet-wide hysteria as the population makes its pilgrimage to the two main spaceports.
Look how well designed the intro is of how this looks and what it feels like.
I will have to call it good for tonight after.
You probably
this
want to call it good
cutscene.
now. This mission
Yes.
is a douche.
Well, I mean, like,
It
once
takes a
the
very long
cutscene
time.
finishes.
This mission could probably be a gameplay session unto itself.
But yeah, I like this kind of aesthetic. When you look at the mission screen and you see this, it feels more of a Dawn of War than what Dawn of War 3 did. Honestly.
Well, maybe I'll just do it and I'll just be like angry, like this is so much worse than the originals.
You could definitely do Dawn of War 3 and then just look at it and feel like, eh.
I've requested a regiment.
But I will
Dawn
not
of War 3 does spoil heavily the other games. So that's another reason not to play it.
Yeah.
They've spoiled the other
Spoils them
games,
all.
What do you mean?
Yeah, Gabriel Angelos becomes chapter master.
Dun,
Well,
dun,
to be
dun.
fair, it comes after Dawn of War Dawn of War 2 exactly, so...
Well,
Yeah, and for some reason, Apollo Diomedes becomes like the head reclusiarch, and it's like, you know what? He's stupid enough. I will grant him that. I hated Diomedes.
He's probably
Such a
seeking redemption
moron.
after what he did in Retribution, to be fair. And Chaos
Dude.
Rising.
Yeah, but he was such a simp and a moron. It's like he was constantly trying to.
Oh yeah, I found Trip right there. She's the Farseer.
Ah, there you go.
Oh yeah, Maka. She's never named in game, but that's Maka. It's only relevant in Dawn of War 3, so don't worry.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
She's very well knowledged. Let's put it that way.
yeah. Not as important as Taldir. Not nearly as
No,
important as Taldir.
Taldir is the best.
Yes, she is. She was a race tonight.
Well, not only that, the way how she comments against the orcs and against the Tau and all that stuff. Oh, so good. Such good comments.
Are you certain? Yes. The path to Mount Korath. This is where the orcs must go. Why? Do you question my findings?
I do not question your abilities, brother librarian, but I do.
Dun, dun, dun.
That mountain pass is the perfect location for an ambush.
We must protect the mountain pass.
Listen to the distrust in his voice. He probably calls you mutant behind your back, but he fears your divinity.
Ah, there he
I mean,
is.
Scott
There
McNeil
is the
just-
sorcerer.
Yeah, Scott
Evil
McNeil just kills it as the sorcerer in this.
Yeah, if Scott McNeil whispered in my ear, I'd follow chaos.
Do not deny that this is likely a trap, which is all the more proof that our enemy lies in this direction.
Very true, old friend. Stay alert and follow
He practically voices the entire game, mostly.
Yeah, and like just about every guardsman. There are a lot of other voice actors that do a lot of stuff, like obviously Paul Dobson,
We must find a way to
Tatassa or something like that.
we can scout out a good location to stage our field operations.
Memories.
Memories.
don't you mean memories?
Yeah, just playing these games half the time is just really good.
Well, you play them time to time. Same
yeah,
as I.
Yeah, I play Dawn of War original occasionally too.
Yeah, like I also
Yeah.
play Impossible Creatures most of the time when I want to just play for fun. It's a very fun strategy game where you can just combine creatures and rename them to #lol or I don't know, hippity hoppity coming for your property.
Yeah, no, that's what the Blood Ravens are for.
Yes, true that.
Hippity hoppity, this meme is now my property.
Yeah, technically that's not
Basically, yeah.
actually accurate because if you play Dawn of War 2, the reason that meme came about was because in Dawn of War 2 it's a heavy loot-based Diablo-esque system, and so they have a lot of lore a lot of items that reference lore for other chapters and whatnot. And so the joke is that how did the Blood Ravens get all this crap? They must have stolen it when really a lot of Space Marine chapters have relics that reference other chapters, at least presumably, and B, it's theirs. It's just named after those other chapters. Like even in some of the flavor texts, like the Final Absolution of Caliban, that's not actually a Dark Angel's weapon. In fact, the Dark Angels once heard about it and said that the Blood Ravens can go fuck themselves.
Indeed, it's very.
They
funny.
were not happy about that. Yeah, and another one, the Chainsword Gift of Blackmane, intended for Ragnar Blackmane of the Space Wolves, and he was like, keep your toy. It was intended to be a gift, but he rejected it.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Yeah, so yeah, the Blood Ravens aren't actually kleptomaniacs, but that is the meme. And memes live forever.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
they
meme.
do.
They're memes.
Oh, there actually is a Warhammer Monopoly game.
Yeah,
I
there
gotta
is
do it.
actually. Yeah, Wolfie, you're right. That's not even a joke.
Do not pass go. Do not collect 200 requisition.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I love how the money system in this game is just requisition. So it's basically it's not like you're actually hiring or paying people. You're just kind of bullying them.
Yes.
That's pretty 40k.
Yeah, like the guardsmen, they didn't have a choice.
Yeah, it's essentially can you justify the expenditure of more soldiers? That's what requisition in lore is. But that won't stop me from calling it money.
It's not about the money, It's about sending
It's
a
about
message.
sending a message with a drop pod 7 times.
And then it's not just a drop pod; it's dreadnoughts in a drop pod. So therefore, you have a little bit of a problem later.
No, it's a Death Company dreadnought in a drop pod.
Oh my god!
I am sick and tired of these motherfucking dreadnoughts and these motherfucking drop pods.
Well, the good thing about drop pods and dreadnoughts together is a very nasty combination.
Yeah, so I've heard of some people referring to drop pods as war condoms.
Well, he ain't not wrong.
The Emperor protects.
The Emperor protects.
I have so many 40k stories. That's why I wanted to be here so badly for that last play session.
Well, I am definitely going to be doing it as frequently as I can because I really love this game.
Cool.
Good.
Just wait until you get to some of the later ones, because that's when the gameplay gets wild.
It's gonna get wonky.
Well, I am interested in playing.
Yeah,
Alrighty,
and if you
folks.
can get up to Retribution, then we could do some Last Stand co-op.
Ooh, that's very cool. Let's see. What do I want? Oh, yeah, that.
All right. Well, I think we will call it good for tonight. Thank you all for coming. I'm glad we managed to work out that we could play a little bit of Dawn of War tonight. Right? But yeah, we will see you guys later. Bye.
Dum 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 dum.